our joint race to world first hardcore champions. Looking forward to, well, we'll start the chat with them now. We'll get the cameras up for you guys as and when they're ready. But what an amazing final couple of moments. The first thing I think all of us have to ask, without a shadow of a doubt, is please talk us through the final 180 seconds before you dinked to 100. I feel like we have to start there.
Well, to be honest, it was all planned.
The content.
We chose a dungeon with Butcher. And,
Hey, you saw us leave the dungeon and come back, right?
Yes.
Because we had to get the one with the Butcher.
Of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It was one level higher because the level 100 didn't have it. Right?
Oh. Wink. I'm totally believing this story. I'm nodding along. So Zor, I've got to ask, like, you know, the chair behind you, is it just a brown stain at this stage? How much were you panicking in that critical encounter?
I wasn't actually, because I didn't know I had 0 potions until I had 0 potions.
What?
Yeah. So there was a mild. It wasn't really panic. 'Cause I had cheat death because hardcore's a joke, but.
Oh, wow.
See, that's an interesting thing. So now that you've done that, I wonder next time, are you going to try and do hardcore but not use cheat death potions?
You don't really need it.
Of course not.
Except today? Question mark.
Minus like the 390 plus dead characters I have.
But that's just lessons to be learned, right? And
exactly.
That's right.
The interesting part is like, so was it just the potions because you were stunned in that moment? I was curious.
I had Shadow Step. I could have got out of it.
Yes. Is there a reason you didn't?
I was just spamming my escape scroll, really. I don't really care. Because even if I procced, I was leaving.
Okay, that was bold. That worked out. Yeah, no. So then we got to look from Ugi's perspective, because earlier on in that encounter with the Butcher, it was looking just as painful and panicky for him. Run me through the thought process when you had to run a match.
Well, we had an agreement with Butcher. So you can see that when Sora also gets slammed to the pillar, you see him on very low HP, and when Butcher swings at him, he completely misses. And that's what we discussed. It happened the same to me. When I was only one hit away from being dead, and he missed again, of course. So then I went through the mobs to get some health pots. Were for free, of course. They were fake mobs, of course. And we didn't pay Butcher, by the way.
Oh, okay, so you.
So he might be angry and come show up again.
All right, so talk me through season launch for you guys, because I'm not sure. Were you racing in the launch season?
We had the worst season launch pretty much possible. I'm from EU. The EU had insane issues at the start. We were able to log in at the start. But I think after 10 minutes, I got disconnected. I couldn't log in for 2 hours straight.
Wow.
And the rest of my group could, because they were in different countries. And so I had to use a VPN in order to play in New York, and then I could play. So we were 2 hours behind, and we were racing. I made a whole schedule of what we had to do and everything. It's like months of preparation, and it basically went all down the drain because couldn't log in.
And was there a pivot, or did you just kind of stick to the original plan?
Kind of both. Yeah.
It's a little bit of both, for sure.
There's a little bit of both, because Blizzard also made a lot of changes that they didn't put in the patch notes. Like, all the zones were to your level. Before, every zone, like Act 4 was level 35, Act 5 is level 45. But now everything was scaled to your level. So we were like, wait, now we can get these dungeon aspects where we couldn't, where we have to be level 45 first, so we can be way more powerful now. So I had to like adjust the routes, and then it was a little bit chaotic, but it worked out in the end.
But you guys started 2 hours late. We'll call it 2 hours, and towards the end of the race, there was at one point an 11 level lead. So from starting late to having an almost unfathomable lead on some really, really strong, really talented players who are still fighting to get to 100. What would you credit with? How did you even get that gap? What would you say was the biggest factor? Because that's huge, right? Your competitive advantage there was insane.
Preparation. Like that's from all the races I have done, preparation is 90% of a race. If you practice a race, that's just how you do it in practice. But if you don't know, if you don't have a route, and if you don't have variables, if something goes wrong, then you're not prepared for if something goes wrong. And especially here, what we had, everything went wrong basically. But we were still prepared for the worst case scenario, because I was actually talking about it like a couple days before. Actually, if this happened, so I prepared in my head for this, and yeah, it worked out in my head. So, but what I didn't expect, that was even the bonus, when I was able to log in 10 minutes before that, Aazxor died on his rogue, because they were leveling without me, and Aazxor died on his rogue. So we had a level 1, we had two level 1s, and the others were like in the season campaign already progressed. So it was one big chaotic
Then
mess.
we started fighting each other. It was pretty good, because I was just fucking tilted. I was done.
Is this the first time? Well, I'm trying to. This might stand for a while. The only time someone died and then still won the race? Question mark. That's an interesting extra accolade to add to your collection there.
I think so, yeah.
Is it worth the tilt, Zor?
Yeah? How tired do I look?
that was very delayed. That was a very delayed answer.
Dude, he's ready to switch off. I can tell. He's like, soon, damn it.
The above average light won't even come on. That's how long they've been awake.
I'm curious from Zor's perspective here. Like, you said how tilted you were. Like, how did you get that mental reset? Was it a member of the team that helped with that? Did you just have to step away from the keyboard? What got you back on?
You just gotta get back into it. That was it. I just started making a character by myself, and that's all I could do, because Oogie was like, "Are you gonna make another character?" And I was like, I guess I am. So then I just started leveling by myself. I muted my mic. I just started grinding. Yeah. I got to like 10 or 15, just enough for my class quest. And I was like, all right, I'm ready. Where are we at? What are we doing? And got back into it. Like, I just had to get my own space for a minute.
Isn't that the trick with hardcore? You know, if you're solo, you'll just give up. But I mean, peer pressure, right? That's how we always keep coming back to these games. But one thing I'm curious of, actually, is because some teams, the way they were running comp, there were elements that were reliant on having a certain member in the party, right? A certain class. Were your class designs, did they get adjusted at any stage from your original anticipations? And were they relying on another class to function fully?
Yes. Actually, one day before the season, we changed one class. We did have a sorceress in the team, but we kind of went with double druid, because the one that was playing sorceress wasn't really familiar with sorceress, and his main was a druid, and I kind of wanted everyone to be having fun as well. It wasn't really meant to be like super serious, because at least this team wasn't really experienced with racing apart from me, and I wanted to be serious but also have fun and don't play classes that you don't want to. That's why we also had a barb, because barb didn't really have a spot there, but the guy that was with us, he only wanted to play a barb. So yeah, we kind of had to make a team from that, from the wishes from the other guys as well, and we just went with what we had. And it played out in the end pretty well, apart from people dying, but yeah.
Okay, we got to talk about that death a little bit. What were the comms like? what was the feeling in the group like? Because I think Evolve Gaming wasn't he a decent bit ahead of both of you at that point?
Yes, because when I couldn't log in for 2 hours, after 30 minutes or so, I said, just go level without me. This is not working. And so they leveled without me. And then a few moments later, Aazxor died. And the other guy, I think the Barb went a bit solo and tried to do season journeys and stuff. So he gained a little bit of levels while we were fixing our other characters. So he basically gained a little bit of levels in front of us. And the funny thing is, like, we were on Discord and he was AFK, the Barb, and he comes and he says, "I'm dead." Out of nowhere, it's like, huh? How? And then he say, "Yeah, I just died. I died. Yeah, I." And then he showed us, and I was like, "Oh no!" I couldn't believe it. We all couldn't believe what just happened.
Oh my god.
Brutal.
It was just nightmare onto nightmare, and yeah, then we decided to go further with 3, and the third guy couldn't. Yeah, he didn't really find his spin in playing, and he dropped off as well. And then we were just a duo, and with the 2 of us, we just went like hard. And we had one end point, and it was first 100.
Yeah.
And yeah, we just went for it, and it played out.
Amazing.
Now something I'm curious with actually is, I think we have the ability to bring up the replay of the moment where we fought with Squeaky Bum Time. I know we talked about it a little bit already, but I kind of want to get your live now seeing it back reaction, because it's very different to in the moment, right? So
I wanted this live with your comms so badly.
okay, let's get into it.
You didn't want our comms?
Oh, I definitely did.
I love how there is just like a story of emotions on all of our faces, by the way, throughout now.
Oh yeah. Oh, I had
Yeah.
to. Yeah.
I think your reactions were way
That was
more
panic.
enthusiastic than ours.
That's when panic hit for sure. And then I got the wall. Yeah.
You know,
There was a lot of panic because I thought you guys meant he had 0 pots. I really thought you guys meant he had 0 pots the whole time, just like hanging around.
No,
Whatever.
You both had
Oh,
0
he did.
pots.
You both had 0 pots.
That was both of you.
Yeah. Whoops.
Wow.
I mean, it's like the interesting part. Jesus Christ, he's still mad. The interesting part, as I was saying, like the part that baits you as well, I imagine even for a player in the moment, is the teleport out effect. Kind of looks like the floating spirit as well, right? So your first thought, was it, am I dead?
There was a 3-second period where I genuinely wasn't sure if you teleported out or you were dead.
So I was like, honestly, I was like, are you good? Like worried about him because he got away barely from what it looked like to me.
No pun
And I was
intended.
just asking him the whole time as I'm like fighting the butcher. I was like giving it my best, not knowing I had 0 pots. And then I noticed I had 0 pots, and then oh shit happened. I start running, and then I get slammed up against a wall. That was a first. I'm usually facing the butcher when that happens. So yeah, I panicked and I got out of there because I've lost a level 100 like a couple weeks ago, and I'm good without that.
I can imagine. So you guys, did you basically cap out every character in season launch?
I only have 100 druids.
Oh, okay. Because it sounded like, so Oogie, it sounded like you said you've been doing this for a while. So you speedrun in other games as well?
In Diablo 3, yeah. But I've been in the esports for a long time. Different games though. But in Diablo 3, I was speedrunning for, pretty much from the start. I always love like leveling, being super efficient in leveling, making the most efficient routes, and I love planning things. And yeah, this speedrunning is just it works for me. I like it.
And I guess, Zor, you just like focusing on sticking us on the edge of our seats and following what Oogie Boogie says.
So there was actually a lot of like headbutting between us because I'm competitive as well, extremely, and I had never done a race like this. I've done other things in MMOs and whatever else, and like not slept, but this is probably the worst because 52 hours is bad. But apparently you just drink water and eat pizza or something, and then you're good to go. I don't know. That's what happened. I had a good time though, and he planned it, and I was like, perfect. And then there was just little things where I was like, let's do this, and it worked out. So
yeah, I mean, we're getting ready to round out because I think you guys have earned the rest you need it. But
What's another hour?
yeah, one more. You guys got to go do Uber Lilith for the new Uber, right? Like, come on.
yeah.
But seriously, guys, big congratulations first of all, because I think we said it once already, but it needs to be said again. This is incredible. My first thought is like, what's next? Is it on to try and be world first for Uber, or are you guys now thinking maybe back to back for season 3?
Well, I will probably try Uber Lilith tomorrow. I need to see how my gear is. I've killed Uber Lilith before on the druids, but that was with an ethical build. I'm probably gonna do it with an unethical build now.
That's what I like to hear.
Since Blizzard doesn't really like to nerf those kind of builds, so I guess you can just play it because it's in the game, right?
Well,
seems reasonable.
fair.
So how about you? You just gonna go crash for like 24 hours?
Yeah. So you remember how I told you I lost a 100 character a couple weeks ago?
Mhm.
That was to Lilith after I killed her.
No.
So I killed her, and the screen starts going black, right? And she's actually casting her shadows at the same time. So her shadows start going off as the black screen is coming through for beating her. And I died, and I didn't get the achievement.
What?
So I gotta kill her again at some point, I guess, on hardcore. I've done it on softcore. But that was my hardcore one. I was like, oh. I was really mad. I was a little defeated. I stopped playing Diablo for a couple days.
I'm mad
I just
for
wanted
you.
the achievement. If I would have got the achievement, I would have been fine. It can die. I didn't need it anymore.
Right.
You don't even care about the
Literally
mount,
the
right?
black screen. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Like it starts loading. I'm like, cool.
Zor, I feel like getting achievements and dying within seconds of each other seems... I'm not saying I'm seeing a pattern here, but,
I think you're onto something.
Maybe, yeah. I think Daddy Blizzard may be out to get you as well, but you seem to be able to overcome them each time. I think we're gonna get ready to round this up though, because I want you guys to get the rest you deserve. Zor, Oogie Boogie, huge congratulations. Looking forward to seeing how the Ubers go, and looking forward to seeing if you can eventually come back to backs when season 2 kicks off. But go get some well-earned rest.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.